We talked a little bit, I know you talked about the cold reading,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of different tools that you can use, certain demos like, the cube, and there's one called Strawberry Fields. Have you ever?
Yeah, I've done that one. We haven't taught it yet.
Do you know what it is?
Oh, I just smiled because it's a Beatles song. I got excited.
Oh, okay. Well, so it's a good tool for cold reading as well. These personality tests, because people love to learn about themselves, and in part it's cold reading, and in part it's pop psychology too.
It's interesting. People want to know about themselves. So.
Exactly, and a lot of ways it's a good segue into other topics. For instance, the Strawberry Fields. That's a sexual personality test. So, okay, so I'll ask you. Do it? Okay, so I'll ask you. Okay, this is a personality test. And there's tons of these personality tests out there. But it's a visualization. Do you have a good imagination?
Yes.
Okay. So, imagine that you are in a strawberry field.
Okay.
Okay. And
Should I close my eyes? Does that help?
you can. Okay. So tell me, how does the field look?
It's really big. It's a little hilly.
It's a little what?
Hilly, like
Hilly, okay.
valley. And there's like the color red everywhere.
The color red. Okay. Are there a lot of strawberries?
Yes.
Tons? Tons. Okay. How big is the field?
3 football fields.
Whoa. Okay. Cool. And is there a fence around it at all?
No, it just trails off.
Just trails off. Let's say that you can go into the strawberry field. What do you do?
I eat the strawberries.
How do you eat them? Like, describe how you do it. Like, really slow.
I look for the biggest ones. Yeah, and I guess I eat them kind of slow.
Or do you eat them fast, or do you eat just one at a time, or do
One
you,
at a time.
One at a time. Okay. Do you save them at all, or do you just kind of pick them and eat them as you go, or
I do both at the same time.
you save them?
Yeah, I save some and I eat some.
You save some and eat some. And what is it like when you eat them?
What is it like? Oh, it's great. I love strawberries.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Here's the interpretation.
I'm like scared now.
I think you guys got the gist of
we got
the strawberry
No.
field. So basically, it's your sex life. So you have this huge, like 3 football fields. That's like your sex drive, basically. and like you saw the red strawberries everywhere, and of course you wanted to go for the hugest one. I'm not sure what that means, but well.
I never eat them.
So and then the way that you eat them, you save some, but then you eat them really slow. So you like to take your time and kind of enjoy the experience of it. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm sorry, yeah. Nobody wants like 2 seconds of that. Yeah. You don't want to rush.
What?
You don't want to rush like nice things like eating good food or good sex. Like
So what is it about sex that you enjoy?
attention.
Attention?
Yeah.
Really? Like what kind of attention?
Just that somebody else is only focused on me. And it sounds selfish, I think, but I mean, like, it's a reciprocal attention. Like, I want to give attention just to one person. I enjoy that reciprocal nature of that.
So when you feel this attention, when you feel that reciprocal nature with someone, what is it like for you?
Great. It's great. It's honestly something where it's worth it because I don't sleep with everybody I meet. So when I do decide to have sex with somebody, it's like, I'm so glad I was not sleeping with everyone because I'm sure this is so much better than sleeping with everyone.
But you did save some strawberries, though.
My sister has a saying. She says you have to feed the army. So I mean,
What does that mean? I don't know. I don't think I want to know.
that, even if she has a boyfriend, she makes sure that there's,
Oh.
no, that she's not sleeping around, but that you don't want to close doors.
Okay. She wants to keep her options open. Right. Okay. Cool. What do you guys think about that?
That's great.
So you went into the sexual value elicitation.
Exactly. And it's just a value elicitation going on a deeper level, but talking about sex.
And not only that, how else would you segue into that without a nice, fun little game to play?
So let me talk about the cue real quick. This is another cool, really cool personality test. Okay, who wants to do it? Okay, imagine that you're in a desert. Okay. And in this desert, there's a cube. How does it look?
Just like a cube, like a shiny cube.
Shiny cube. What color is it?
Silver.
Silver? How big is it?
Big.
Like huge?
No, not that huge. You could hold it in your arms.
Okay, so you can hold it. Is it like flat on the ground, or is it floating? Or
It's floating.
It's floating. Is it just on its flat side, or
No, it's spinning around.
on its
It's little
point?
bit. Yeah.
Or it's on its point?
Kind of rotating
Really? Is it on its point, or is it on the flat side?
on its point.
Really? That sounds like you was it, actually. Exactly. I'm not kidding you. Okay. And it's shiny silver. How far away are you from it?
Not close enough to touch it,
Okay.
but close enough to see
You're close enough to see it. And what kind of feeling does it convey to you? Mood or
it. Just kind of serenity.
serenity? What else? What other words would you use to describe it?
Just like calm and just I'm kind of at a loss for words.
So serenity?
Yeah,
calm.
serenity, calm, peaceful.
Peaceful. Okay. In the desert, there's also a ladder. How do you see the ladder?
It's standing up.
Okay. So is it made out of wood or metal?
It's wood.
It's wood. Okay. How far is it from the cube? Is it close to the cube at all?
No,
Is it really tall ladder or short?
it's a tall ladder.
Tall. Okay. And in the desert, there's also a horse. How do you see the horse?
It's standing by itself.
By itself. What color is it? Brown. And how far is it from the cube?
It's behind it,
Behind.
far away.
Far away. Okay. And does it have a saddle or bridle?
No,
No. What kind of feeling or mood does the horse have?
calm, happy horse.
Calm, happy?
Yeah.
Okay. And in the desert, there's also a storm. How do you see the storm?
Far away from everything.
Does it affect any of the horse and the cube at all?
No,
So it's kind of off in the distance.
everyone's by themselves.
Okay. What do you mean?
The ladder is
Kind of in its own place.
everything's in its own place. They can all see each other, but they're all down.
Okay. Interesting. And in the desert, there's also flowers. How do you see the flowers?
They're underneath the rain.
Underneath the rain? In the storm? Far away? is there a lot of them too?
There's a lot of them. I'm not happy that I didn't learn.
Okay. Okay, here's the interpretation. Ready? Okay, the cube is you.
Okay.
It represents your symbolic self-portrait.
Uh-huh.
The ladder is your friends and family. The horse is your lover and life partner. The storm is problems and challenges. And flowers are children or things that come from you, like either from your body, like children, or things that you create from your mind, like creative projects. So here's the interpretation. What?
I water my children.
Provide for them.
Yeah?
Oh, that's not so bad.
Okay, here's the interpretation. Your cube was shiny and silver, and it was kind of far away, but not so far that you couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
A silver shiny cube means that, to me, it means that you are like a. No, and silver is something that has value. It's also reflective.
Uh-huh.
You know, something that reflects what's around it. It's a metal, so it's hard, but it's something that's valuable as well and nice to look at. It was kind of on its point, which is the cube of a perfectionist, a solo performer. Like, in other words, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself, basically. And it was kind of floating off the ground, so that's the cube of a visionary. So that it's like a combination. You're kind of like a person that can look at someone and see potential and see possibilities. You can look at a situation and see the potential in it. You're like a visionary, someone that sees possibilities. And possibilities are more important to you than actuality. It's more important to you what something can become, can be, than what it actually is at the moment, because you see potential in it. It's far enough away from you, which means that you don't quite have a sense of who you are yet. You're still discovering who you are. The words that you use to describe the cube, calm, serene, peaceful, those are actually words that can be used to describe you, like who you really are. Maybe like when you're at home with no one else around, it's like you want to have calm, peaceful serenity. That's who you really are. Maybe on the outside you may seem like a certain way, and it's kind of like that reflective nature that you might have, you know, whatever environment you're in. But down deep inside, calm, serenity, peacefulness is really what you're after. So that's kind of what the cube is. The ladder. It's also interesting how all these were kind of segmented. So it's like you think of your friends in one category, you think of your, you know, partner, lover in another category, and yourself in another category. So it's kind of like you categorize certain parts of your life. And you kind of keep them separate somewhat. So the ladder is your friends and family, and you had a wooden ladder, which is sentimental. It wasn't really that tall, but it wasn't that short. So you kind of, you know, have a good social network, but not huge, not super small. But you want people that are sentimental around you. Your horse is your lover. And you want a lover. A brown horse is actually a very normal color. You don't want the black horse, which is like the bad boy, mysterious type. You know, you don't want that. You don't want the white horse, which is like the ideal knight in shining armor, you know, the person, you know, like that type, the perfect person. You don't want that. You just want someone who's kind of like a normal person, someone who's down to earth. And your horse actually felt the same way that your cube did. So you want someone that is also, you know, kind of peaceful as well and calm. And your horse didn't have a saddle or a bridle. So what that means is it's you want someone who can think on their own and who you won't necessarily control, who has like a free spirit, and who's with you because they want to be with you. not because you're forcing them to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the storm, your storm was far away, so you're not the type of person that focuses on problems. You're pretty optimistic. It doesn't really affect other parts of your life where you have problems. You try not to let it affect your personal life, that kind of thing. But you know it's there. And then your flowers, your children, things that you create, being far off in the distance, maybe I see that as right now at this point in your life, you aren't quite ready for all of that yet. But at the same time, you had a huge field, which can mean
But I didn't see it like it was like a thunderstorm or anything. I just saw like rain.
just rain.
Yeah.
So it's almost like nurturing,
calming. Yeah.
kind of just nurturing. So, I mean, that could mean that you like to, I mean, you're a nurturing person. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What ways?
I like to take care of people when they're sick.
You do?
Yeah.
So,
Good.
on a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 was like totally accurate, 1 was like not at all, what number?
Probably like a 9.
9? Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Great.
Especially the whole thing about the not wanting to like tie someone down and someone being with you because they want to be with you, not because you're keeping them or because they need you.
Right. Cool.
Good.
So that's the cube. And it's, it's just a cool way to have conversation, get to know the person, have them get to know themselves as well.
That's great.
So yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's good for cold reading too, because I mean, there's some things that you're not sure about, but you kind of throw them out there, and a lot of times you're completely right on. And the whole thing about creating a self-image, it's that quote: "I am not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am."
Right. I mean, that the cube was just basically a giant cold read, and a lot of it, I think, can be kind of made up on the spot, and just using your own intuition and just kind of interpreting it. It almost seems like, the way I've always seen it is that it's not like this definitely means this definitely means this. It's up to whoever's delivering the cube to kind of interpret it and guide it and make it real for the person that you're doing it to.
Cool. Yeah, we have the same cube actually. Mine is on its point and kind of spinning around too. Yep. I'm not sure what that
Like
means.
not fast, which is kind of like
Yeah. Mine was made out of water though, but it's pretty much the same.
water cube.
Yeah,
That's
I'm,
cool.
I'm not sure what that means.
Got a cool cube. That's cool.
So anyway, so that's the cube.
Cool. Did you want to do questions? I know you mentioned that you wanted to take some questions.
Yeah, do you guys have any questions? Just sticking points.
I'm sure they do. Right now they're in receptive mode, so.
Everyone's like, cube. I'm going to do this too.
There's a book out there you could order from Amazon called The Secrets of the Cube. And it explains all of those things. It's a great, personality test for your friends, your family, if you go out on dates, I mean, it's just a cool thing.
No questions.
Any questions? Yeah.
Look, what do you do during elicitation? If let's say you ask her, what do you want out of life? And she generally is like, I really don't know. I don't know what I want. Because I can envision that happening.
Well, a lot of times, I've actually never had that answer, but I can see that happening.
I think it would happen if someone would if you got into a conversation like that, or were trying to get into a conversation like that too soon?
Yeah.
Like I've had a guy
If they
just-
weren't into it.
Yeah.
If it's not too soon though, and it is a genuine thing where she really doesn't know, because sometimes there's girls, younger girls that don't really know. You say, well, it's going to be fun to find out together, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
So yeah, and getting into it too soon, of course you're going from superficial to social to deeper. You're kind of progressing along that stage. Any other questions? So
How about that October Man sequence?
well, let me tell you about that. Infamous, but I can talk about a little bit of it. Basically, something that it uses both. I mean, you may have read about it in Neil Strauss's book, The Game, as this infamous, type of thing. But what it really is these same sorts of things: the sexual value elicitation, but combining that with the visualization and with touch. So you're kind of bringing all the modalities in together, and then being able to amplify the feeling of it through manipulating the energy. Does that make sense? You're combining. Who wants to be a volunteer?
Volunteer.
You want to? Okay, come over here.
I just sit in this chair.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys just a brief idea of it, but okay, let me ask you actually about your strawberry fields first.
Okay.
So, what?
close
Tell me
my
about.
eyes?
Yeah, well, if you want to, tell me about your strawberry fields.
They're big.
Okay,
They're flourishing.
flourishing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Lots of strawberries. It's hot in summertime. There's a couple trees in the distance. There's a big hill.
How many strawberries are there?
Tons.
Tons.
Mm-hmm.
Are they big and juicy and
Yeah.
ripe?
Yep.
Is there any walls around the field at all?
No, a couple trees.
A couple of trees. So what do you do when you go out into the strawberry field?
I eat them.
How do you eat them? Like really slow, and do
Yeah,
you like
like
take
big
your time, or big bites?
Yeah, it's like juicy all over the place.
So what's it like?
Wet. Juicy and
Wet,
sweet.
juicy,
and,
sweet.
And really, really yummy.
Okay, cool. So basically, that corresponds to your sex
Sex
life.
life.
Yeah. And so you have this huge field, these big, juicy strawberries, and yep. I guess. And yeah, how big was your field?
Pretty big. Like, it's big.
Okay.
Really big.
So that corresponds to your sexuality. So what is it about sex that you enjoy?
I like the excitement.
Excitement, really?
I like the rush. I like
The
how
rush?
it makes me feel sexy.
Okay. So when you're feeling the excitement and feeling the rush and feeling sexy, what is it like?
Really energizing. I find that I take on a different personality.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what kind of personality?
Sometimes aggressive or playful, or you go into sex mode.
Okay. Sex mode?
Yeah.
What's sex mode? Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. Cool. So if you were to take, see this feeling that you have, if you were to take this feeling and give it a color or an energy, what would it be?
Red.
Red? And how would it look? Like really bright?
Yeah.
Anything else about it?
Opaque.
Opaque? How big is it?
The color?
Yeah, I mean, how big is it? Like, where's it at? in your body when you feel it?
Oh, all over.
All over your whole
Yeah.
body?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. And is it moving anywhere, or is it in like a certain spot?
I guess it moves.
Hmm. Okay, so if you were to take this red energy, tell me more about it. Like, is there sparkles? Is it glowing, pulsating?
Yeah.
It's pulsating.
in my
Okay.
heart,
In your heart?
out of my skin.
Okay, cool. So if you were to take this red color
Mm-hmm.
and just notice how if I take it in my hand right here,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and imagine that I'm holding this red pulsing ball of light,
Mm-hmm.
this energy just right here. Okay, notice like as I move it and kind of just like brush the surface of your skin, can you feel it?
Mm-hmm.
Right here,
I can feel it.
just like that. Okay, now take a deep breath in and breathe out, and just see this ball of light getting even bigger and more intense. And just starting to pulsate, so that with each breath that you breathe in, it just gets bigger and more intense. Breathe in. Good. Okay, now notice how I put it right here into your chest. Okay, and you can feel this energy just come right into you. Take a deep breath and just imagine this ball of light right here. Okay, can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now notice how I can like trace it on your skin. And you can feel this energy moving throughout your body. Do you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. Okay, I'll stop there. I won't go any further than that. But what was that like? What was it? What was it like?
Good.
Was it good?
Yeah. It's pretty intense.
It's intense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got really strong energy, so
Cool.
I can feel it
Cool.
a lot.
What?
She's
Oh, really? Wow, awesome. Cool.
yeah, that was nice.
Cool. So, yeah, in the context of a relationship, I mean, it's very much like Tantra. Because that's what, I know there are certain forms of Tantra that do that exact type of thing, where it's like a massage, you know, where it's combining touch, visualization, and verbal suggestion, you know, how you're making it more intense and those kind of things. And so anyway,
You wanna sit over there?
that's it. Okay. Any questions? I saw you had goosebumps.
I did. I thought it was really cool. I mean, I could really feel it. Even more so when you just had your hand away from my skin and touching my skin. It was strong.
Now, what did you think when I actually put it inside of you? How did that feel?
It was good. It was really good. Yeah, you can actually like feel it moving.
Right.
But this, I would have to say, was the strongest. Like just
Just
the beginning.
feeling my hand
yeah.
right there. I noticed you were really smiling when I was
Yeah.
doing that. Well, you know, see, what the unconscious mind does is it links that state, that excitement. Remember how I had you talk about the excitement? It links the sense of excitement that you have in your sexuality to that color, that red glowing color. And so that's the representation. So as I actually move that along, you know, different places, it's like your mind is, you know, responding, and your body reacts unconsciously. You know, like you had goosebumps. I saw you got flushed.
Don't make me shy.
But yeah.
But yeah, it's good. Like I had zero control.
What's that?
I had no control.
Really?
Yeah, like I can't. You know, if you're sending my energy around, I couldn't be like, don't go. You know. That's a helpful hint.
When would you introduce such a thing? I mean, like,
Well, I mean, you obviously wouldn't do it like when you first met them. Although, like when Swingcat and I were first coming up with the idea of it, we like went to malls and that kind of thing. It was crazy, but yeah, and like for me, I think now in the context of a relationship and in just, sensual massage and just in amplifying and increasing, the enjoyment for your partner. That's what it's about.
it's good stuff.
Yep. Of course, people use it in pickup too.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah. But anyway, there's different variations on that. The energy, you can do a flower where you kind of brush it, or paintbrushes, or even just massage. But one of the keys is taking it out, putting it back in, and each time it goes back in, it's amplified, and the energy is increased even more, because by manipulating the visualization, you are indirectly affecting the emotion and the state. So as you increase and amplify that energy, the ball of light, the pulsations, you're increasing their arousal too.
That's great. That's great. I'm gonna have to watch the video. Take some notes.
I didn't really do. I mean, I only did 2 minutes, and only did her arm. And
Where would it go from there?
well, if you think about touch and just kinesthetics, the most sensitive places on our body are the insides of the insides of your arms, insides of your legs, your stomach, your chest, neck, those kind of places. And so, it would be as if you were giving someone a massage, just a light massage, and you're kind of tracing the energy along certain key places. Another way you can think of it is like in terms of the chakras. Over your chest, your stomach is another sensitive place. But you could just give someone a massage, and as they visualize the energy, you're working the energy into their muscles. It could be energy of relaxation as well. There's all different types of applications.
That's good stuff. Everyone give it up for Intense.